Hello again, everyone. This is Randy, your sewing machine man, and today we're looking at a Singer Heavy Duty. And you guys know how I feel about the Singer Heavy Duty. I'm not a big fan. I don't hate them because it's not polite to hate things, okay? I just like it because it says heavy duty. If it just said, here's a real nice little sewing machine for $300, that's a little honesty in advertising. But heavy duty, I'm not in for heavy duty because I just don't think it's heavy duty. In my mind, heavy duty doesn't have plastic all over it and non-metal drive gears. That's just me. But I think what makes it heavy duty is this piece. I think this is a piece of metal here. Let's see if we can get a magnet to stick to that. Let's see if there's any metal in that. No, might be some sort of an aluminum alloy, but there's no steel in it. But anyhow, it's shiny and it's glued onto here, so that must make it heavy duty. Oh, and look, there's more here. So it's got this shiny metal here. So that kind of makes it look like industrial. I don't know. This one came in because the timing was off, and the timing gets off when you try to sew on something that's heavy, thinking that it's heavy duty, which is my opinion. It's not. That's my opinion. It's not heavy duty. I work on industrial machines every day, just about. They're heavy duty. They're made out of cast iron and steel and chrome plated stuff. They don't have little things that try to make you think what they are. They are. So this little guy, the timing was off, and I was going to show one of my subscribers, how do you know when the timing's off? On this one, let's get over here to the timing area. If you're going to set the timing, you got to know that it's off first. So this one, I set the timing on it, and I thought, well, let me just, instead of telling you what I did, let's go through the steps of helping you out here a little bit. Down here is where you're going to be looking to set the timing. Now this, I'll put it on 05. It's all electronic. I'll put it on 05, which will be the zigzag on its widest setting, and as the needle goes down on its left side, and as it begins to rise, you'll see the point of the hook comes in. Let me get my high-tech emphasis pointer, which is a wrench here, right there. You see the eye. The point of the hook comes in right above it. Usually when it's set right, that eye is right between the metal of the deflector down here and the point of the hook. When it's on the money, it's right there in the middle. It's too low, it won't work. It's too high, it won't work. Right in the middle is the Goldilocks position. It's just right. And of course, sometimes you can set the timing. Sometimes you can set the needle bar height. The needle bar height is just the screw up here on top. Let's take it up to the top here real quick. I'll show you the screw right higher up in the setting of things. Right there, you have two screws. One there, right here, right here, right there. And you can make minor, 2 millimeter, put it in there, loosen it, and sometimes your needle bar will go up or down a millimeter, half a millimeter, just enough to make it right on the money, because sometimes it's off. These are assembled by people, and people are in a hurry, it's time to go to lunch, whatever, and they get them off a little bit. Or you sew on them and it knocks them off. So you have to set them. Now, if the hook's off timing, and that could be, a bunch, that adjustment's going to be down underneath. There's a panel underneath that sets over the timing area where the hook and the hook drive gear is. That's right here. This little panel has one screw. It comes off, and there are, on this gear, the timing set gear, 3 screws. 1, 2, 3. And you loosen those and you bring your hook around to the right spot. Of course, you always want to make sure that it didn't jump timing on your timing belt, and make sure that your feeders are also in time. Make sure your feeders, when they go through their motions, as the needle descends, you'll notice that the feeders, see what the feeders are? As the needle descends, the feeders are descending and going down. They go to the front, they pop back up. They have to be underneath until the needle comes out. So the needle's coming out right there. Let's get the needle coming out, and the needle comes out, and the feeders go up, feed the fabric, go to the rear, and the needle's descending as they're going to the rear. As the needle's descending, they're going to the rear. Those things work in unison. This goes to the rear, and the needle is descending. Those two things have to happen when you know your feeder timing is correct. When that needle's coming down, you'll see the feeders are going, okay, the needle's going up, gets to the top, the feeders are moving to the back as the needle descends, all the way to the back. They're still up, still up, still up. Now they're down because the needle's in the fabric, because the fabric can't move when the needle's in it. If the fabric moves while the needle's in it, you get what this is right here. This is called a banged up needle plate. Let me turn around here so you can see it a little bit better. See that groove cut right there? The needle cut that groove. This is not really heavy stuff because it's a Singer heavy duty, so these are kind of flimsy. These will usually break where my get my emphasis pointer. They'll usually break here at this weak spot and here at this weak spot. That's where they'll usually break, because the pounding on here causes them to collapse, and then they could collapse up and down. But I'll polish that out. I'll put a ramp job on that. I have a video on that. I'll clean all this up, make this smooth because you don't want the fabric hanging on it. And I'll also clean up where the bobbin case spun out. I've got a video on that. It spun out and the needle did a through and through right there. Boom, the needle nailed it. As long as the needle doesn't nail it on the outside, you can redeem these. They're redeemable. You can recondition them as long as they don't have a groove on the outside. So it got hit in a couple places. It got hit up here, got hit there, where the needle dinged it. But this is a dandy right there. It doesn't matter if it's on top, but underneath, that has to be mitigated underneath. That has to be smoothed out. And of course, what you do when that's like that, I've showed you in the other videos, it's called peening. It's the same thing you do if you have like a place in an engine, like on a aluminum head or something that's got a gouge. You peen it, you force that back down in, force it back down in, make sure that's absolutely smooth. And of course, I'll come back with my crocus cloth, emery cloth, and I'll make sure that there's nothing there. When the thread goes across it, that thread can't hang there. If it does, it'll spin it again, needle hit it again, and it's a continuous fail. So we'll get this all back together, get it back to the customer, and I'll encourage her to make sure that she has the right needle, has it installed properly, and she doesn't try to sew on something real heavy, because what happens when you're on something real heavy, you'll find yourself pulling the fabric, and that's what causes the needle to hit the back of the needle plate. So that's usually the back of the needle plate where it's got the real bad groove, because the feeders won't feed it, so you help it, and the needle's in the fabric when it moves, and it dings it there and cuts a groove in it. And I'll get those grooves out, get it back, and it'll be as good as new, but it still won't be heavy duty. It'll say heavy duty, but it will be a plastic machine with plastic gears that Singer is making a fortune on, because they know that you'll like the words heavy duty better than I do. All right, that's the Singer. What's the number of this thing? HD stands for heavy duty. I imagine Harley Davidson's pretty upset about that. HD 6620C. All right, thanks.